Hi, this video is going to walk you through how to get the data for our first workshop. Our first workshop will focus on visualizing our own Facebook social graph. So to do that, you fire up your favorite browser and navigate to developers.facebook.com. If you're not already logged in, you should log in. Once you're logged in, you go to Tools and Graph API Explorer. And here, if you don't already have an access token generated here, you click on Get Access Token. You ignore all these checkboxes, you just click again on Get Access Token. And now you should pay close attention to what I'm going to do. So here in the left hand side, I'm going to uncheck ID and name and hit on the plus sign. So this shows a menu with different sections. So you see the first section is fields with a bunch of attributes ordered alphabetically. These are just types of data we can request from the Facebook API. We are interested in our friends data, so we scroll down, we see the connections section starting here, and we're gonna hit friends. So this is gonna retrieve friends data. And then we're gonna hit the second plus sign, so the one on the upper right, and we're gonna go again in the connections section. So you scroll down and you're gonna select mutual friends. So this is gonna retrieve for each of our friends all the mutual friends we have with that friend. We also want the name of each of our friends, so right under mutual friends, so at the same level in the hierarchy as mutual friends, so the plus sign in the middle, you're gonna hit that plus sign. It's important that you hit the right plus sign. And then you're gonna select name. Alright. We are also gonna add something. So we hit again the plus sign in the middle right beneath name. And under the section modifiers, we're gonna select limit and set a limit to, let's say, 300. So this is just saying we're gonna limit the data we request from the Facebook API to 300 friends. The reason why we're doing that is that if you have a lot of friends and you're requesting all this data for each of your friends, then the Facebook API might think that's too much data you're requesting, and then it's going to return an error. So to avoid that, we're going to limit the data we're requesting. You might still encounter an error in that case if you have a thick social graph, meaning you have a lot of connections among your friends between them. In that case, you might want to lower the limit. Okay, and here we could hit submit, but we're not gonna do that. If we hit submit, it's gonna work and the data is gonna be displayed in this part of the screen. But the problem is that you cannot easily copy paste that. So instead of that, we're gonna open a new tab and write https://graph.facebook.com. You don't hit enter, you go back in the previous tab, and you see next to get, there's a little arrow, and if you expand that, click on the arrow, you see there's a full URL here, and you're gonna copy paste the URL, and you see you cannot copy the first part of the URL. That's why we wrote it ourselves. You're gonna copy that, go back in the other tab, and at the end of the URL you're gonna add a slash and then paste what we just copied. You don't hit enter yet. You add an ampersand, then access token equal. You don't hit enter, you go back in the previous tab, and then you're going to copy the field right next to access token, go back in the other tab, and at the end of the URL you're going to append that, and then you hit enter. And here's your data. So again, if you encounter an error here, first make sure you followed all the steps correctly, and then if that's the case, you might want to try lowering the limit. So now that we have our data, we're going to right click and save as, and then you can select where you want to save it. This is my desktop, that's fine. You can rename it if you want, but make sure that you have the extension .json. If it's not already there, you should add it. And also make sure you're saving under the format all files, not a text format or any other format. And then you're just gonna save it. I have this little error message, well, warning message, it doesn't matter, you might not have that. I'm just gonna click continue. And there's our data. So you see I already downloaded before. So you should be good to go now.